All right, welcome to the Spinnin Backfist MMA show. It is Robbie Fox, it is Big Ev, and Jack Mack will be joining in just a second. We are here. It is, what is it, Tuesday? Tuesday, March 14th. Pi Day. Shout out Pi 3.14.
Is the 4th? What is the 14th? I didn't even be the first person to ask me today. It's 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah. I saw Brandon Walker saying before that it's steak and blowjob day as well.
Hell yeah.
It's
It
like an
is. That
official
was
thing.
something that we found out on that Casey told us about on Unnecessary Roughness, and we didn't believe her. Must have just been a big thing in
Texas?
Texas, yeah.
Happy steak and blowjob day, everyone.
Sounds awesome.
And we are here to talk about MMA this week. We're here to talk about Proper 12. And obviously, if you saw the title of the video or the thumbnail, the Conor McGregor interview that I did yesterday. Long time coming. This is an interview I've been trying to get since I started at Barstool, essentially. It's been like the ultimate goal. And it happened, finally. Uncle Dana, shout out for making it happen. The way it happened, in my last interview with Dana White, he said, oh, you know you're invited out here. Like, you could come out here, interview McGregor, watch a couple fights. I was like, I am not aware that is, like, just available. Yeah. So I was like, all right, let's make that happen. We planned for yesterday's date, the 13th. We were, like, tentatively planned for that. But Conor, you know, with him, he's got so many obligations, so many things. They're not going to know till pretty much last minute if he's okay to do it. So I get a text at 11 a.m., maybe 11:30 a.m. on Sunday saying, all right, we could get you 10 to 15 minutes with Conor tomorrow if you could make it to Vegas. Immediately hit up people at Barstool. All right, I need a cameraman. I need someone to go to Vegas with me. Shout out John Foley. Jumped at the opportunity. We went to Vegas together. Yesterday, we flew out on an 8 a.m. flight, flew back at 11 p.m., got to watch the Ultimate Fighter semifinals, which obviously I can't talk about.
Did they make you sign something?
They didn't. I was surprised. So I guess I technically could. I could talk about it, but I'm not going to. Good fights though, and it was cool seeing just McGregor and Chandler like in the flesh, like coaching, seeing one like pacing on one side of the fence, the other pacing on the other side of the fence. It was intense. It was. I've been to fights at the Apex before. Way quieter than the fights I had already been to at the Apex. This was like a weird, eerie vibe.
Do you think that had anything to do with the do-to-do that's been mentioned?
Yeah.
So
do you think now that obviously Dana hasn't said specifically, but sound like maybe there was some pushing and shoving, some words were exchanged. There was a heated argument. He said there's a heated argument. Do you think now his reason it was quiet was because they're kind of just like, you stay there, so we don't fight before the fight?
I sort of thought that initially because they were separated, like they were on different sides of the octagon. They seemed like they were friendly.
Oh, okay.
I hope I'm allowed to say that. They did not, and Conor talks about it in the interview tonight. I asked him about like, hey, do you still have the respect that you came into this? Do you still have the respect for Chandler that you came into this with? And he said yes. But like they multiple times like would exchange words that seemed friendly, that seemed like they were joking, laughing. So I was surprised by that, especially after the do and everything.
Maybe it was something between fighters and kind of like, I'm backing up my guy, you're backing up your guy kind of thing.
He says in the interview tonight, not to spoil it, but he says in the interview tonight, like, listen, tensions got high. This is a sport where tensions get high frequently, you know, big implications, big fights, things happen. But yeah, and then after the fight, so the fights started at like, I want to say 5 p.m. Vegas time. And I was texting you guys all day. I was just kind of waiting around, seeing what was going to happen. Right as the fights are starting, the UFC told me, hey, Aljamain Sterling just got done with physical therapy. He's going to hang around and watch the fights. Do you want to interview him? I said, hell yeah, I'll interview Alja. So we did a quick impromptu interview that I think we'll put out on Thursday's show, so it doesn't get, you know, swarmed by the McGregor stuff.
Yeah, no.
I'm
excited
was
to
really
hear that
good
one
as well.
because,
Yeah.
I mean, coming off of, not to skip ahead of where we're going in the show, but just coming off the weekend that was in the MMA
The
world.
Merab, we talked all about the Merab win.
Aljo's on top of everyone's mind, especially because
the
of Merab.
Cejudo fight coming up, obviously. What Dana said about him and Merab not wanting to fight.
Now, outside of the people in the Ultimate Fighter, did you see any other fighters?
One other fight other than Aljo, Michael Chiesa.
Oh, nice.
Me and John Foley, me and our camera guy are just sitting in the media room waiting around for hours and hours and hours. And one guy just pops his head in, Michael Chiesa. He just looks around. He was looking for someone. He goes, sup? And we're like, sup? And he just walked out. And then he stuck around and watched the fights, him and Aljo.
Yeah, and he's I actually really like Chiesa on when they cut after like Apex shows or whatnot.
Oh, like on the
broadcast.
analyst.
He's been getting really good. He has just a great personality and obviously a great fighter as well.
Yeah, no, he seemed like everyone at the UFC loved him. Like literally everyone from the referees to like coming up to him, being like, "Oh my God, Michael, come here," give him a big hug. I saw Conor's manager, Audie. He came up to me immediately. He was like, I said I felt like I was in a mafia movie almost, because he was like, "Oh my God, I know you since you were this tall, since you were outside the courthouse. Like, look at you now. Look at this." He's like, "We're finally doing it today, huh?" I was like, "We're finally doing it." He's like, "Almost game time, almost game time."
That's also
so he's like firing me up.
Really funny because like
hilarious.
You're also kind of like the same build you were.
I'm the same. He didn't say I know you since you were this tall, but the way he was saying it, he's like, "I know you." He's like, "I've known you for so many years." He literally said, "I watched you grow up in front of my eyes."
Oh,
I was
okay,
like, "This." He's asking like about my girlfriend. When are you going to settle down? When are you going to get married? I was like, "This is." I felt like I was in The Godfather. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
I saw my baby boy.
Literally. I see some of Conor's teammates. Kean Cowley was there, who's helping Conor coach and stuff. Yeah. He came up to me right away, was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's finally happened. Like, let's go, Robbie." Some people from Paradigm, they were all taking videos. And then after the fights, they say, "All right, it's going to be a couple minutes. Like, Conor's coming out." We wait like a half an hour. Nothing's happening. We're like, "Oh my God, is this happening? Is it not happening?" Then someone comes out and they're like, "It's going to be another hour probably." And I'm like, "Oh shit," because we have a flight. So I'm like, I guess we'll miss our flight.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We'll miss our flight for this. And then 2 seconds after he says it's going to be another hour, he comes out and he's like, "It's happening right now." And we were like, okay, it's happening right now. Let's go. He kept us on our toes.
You like relax for a second. They're like, "Oh,
yep." So they kept us on our toes, bring Conor over. We had like, if you saw the pictures I posted, like a makeshift little broadcast area. They put a UFC backdrop, 2 curtains, and I had Conor for 15 minutes.
Did it feel like it went like that?
Yes and no. It felt like it went like that, and it felt like it went forever at the same time, because I was so focused on, I had to like send in my questions ahead of time, but I just wanted to get through all of them. I wanted to like actually read all the questions and not have someone behind the camera being like, "Let's go, wrap it up. He's got to go TV, whatever." And he did have obligations after it, but it was chill. I did get through almost all my questions. If you saw it in the pictures, we started drinking. We drank some Proper 12 and we drank some Irish Forge, Black Forge Irish Forge Stout.
Nice.
By the end of the interview, I'm not much of a drinker. I had nothing in my stomach all day. I was a little tipsy, boys, and I forgot some of my questions at the end of the interview. You'll see it.
But this show is brought to us by Proper Number 12.
By Proper Number 12, specifically the Irish Apple. This is what we were doing shots of during the interview last night. So you'll see us drinking this, and it is smooth. It smells so good. It smells like apple juice, and it tastes like apple juice as well. A little better, a little smoother.
This is the week of the Irish.
It is St. Paddy's Day week.
Robbie McGregor. Is there any Irish teams in the tournament? No, because the Fighting Irish are out.
Notre Dame's out.
And I don't think there's any other Irish teams. So
is Notre Dame ever good at basketball?
They usually are good. They're down here.
But Proper Number 12, thanks. You can get this
apple
anywhere.
Crisp. It's fresh. It's, if you haven't tried it, you have to try it. If you know what the normal Proper whiskey tastes like, get this one. The bottle looks great. Looks great next to the other Proper bottles. So you put them next to each other on the shelf. And like we said on the last show, if you're going out with your boys or they're coming over pre-gaming before St. Paddy's Day, what a fun thing to be like, "Hey, I got the new McGregor whiskey. Let's all take a shot of it right before we go out."
And UFC 286 this weekend.
286 as well. So there you go. We got Leon Edwards in the main event, another Paradigm guy.
Oh, yeah.
By Proper 12 to support all the Paradigm guys.
On this card? I don't think so.
There's a honorary Irish guy on the card, Gunnar Nelson.
Yes.
But yeah, so you'll see the interview tonight. It comes out at 8:00 at night. It'll be on the My Mom's Basement YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already.
Yeah, this is the most viewers we've ever had in here. Like the stream, like this, subscribe, comment, whole 9. We love you. And we do this usually twice a week, once a week.
Oh, that's a funny comment from Rob. Did you give him the signs he asked for from your peaceful protest? So if you remember, I did have like a quote unquote interview with McGregor before in Abu Dhabi. Yes. It was 2 minutes long. I set up my phone on a tripod that his kids were like grabbing at. It was like very fun, but it wasn't like a sit down interview and stuff. It was very grab and go. And during that, he's like, "Do you still have those signs from the courthouse?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah. He was like, "You got to give those to me." I'll make an admission on this podcast. I didn't have the signs. I never had the signs.
Oh,
I lost the signs.
Left them when he came back that day or whatever.
I think they got confiscated by the police. I'm not even kidding.
Oh,
I think the police were like, "Give us the signs, give us the megaphone." But in that moment, I didn't want to be like, "No, Conor, I don't have the signs." So I was just like, "Yeah," and I was like, "If he really wants them, I'll recreate the signs."
Yeah, no, yeah.
But he didn't ask about the signs. He forgot about it. So Shout out Jersey Jerry. It's the signs. So I did not give him that. Already have a proper 12. Stuff is delicious. I agree.
Was the Apex? Could you feel like? Did it feel big, like a big fight? Obviously, with the semifinals of Tough.
Yes, and without like spoiling anything, it was hard to see up close, especially in an environment so quiet. People lose. Like see, like it's almost the thrill and the agony thing.
Yeah.
It was really, really like some of the losses were gut wrenching for these people because
I mean it's the last chance. That's the whole.
You're so close, you know. At this point, you're so close, and then to lose, and it's just like it slips through your fingers. And me and John Foley were looking at each other, and we were like, "Damn, this is like sad to be in the room for."
And John Foley, not much of a
fight. No, not much of a fight guy at all.
I don't think at
First
all.
time he ever saw fights were in this environment. I was like, dude, this is a crazy way to see your first fights.
And then being like cage-side for the Ultimate
He's
Fighter.
10 feet away from Conor McGregor
fans.
shouting instructions.
And then McGregor, and then I mean, he was across from McGregor interviewing when you were interviewing.
He said to me, we were on our way to the airport, and he was like, I feel like next time McGregor fights, like I'll be watching more from personal connection. I was like, yeah, absolutely. You met the guy.
I feel like that too when we come friendly with some of these fighters. Even guys like I thought Leon was like one of the favorite people we've had in.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Like I'm like now I'll be like I was already rooting from the first because I bet on him. Now I like genuinely like just like him as a guy.
And that makes MMA a very stressful sport to watch. When the more people you interview, the more stressful it gets.
You want to know I really felt like that?
You start rooting for people.
Like watching Jamal Hill.
I knew you were going to say it because I felt the same way.
I truly watched him. I wanted him to win. And I like Glover a lot. But just getting to know, like talking to him a little bit, like texting with him and just like talking with him. I just wanted him to win so badly.
Yeah. Got that way with Pettis when we went out there for PFL.
For sure. Pettis,
which was unfortunate. He obviously did lose, but
a few losses have been really upsetting.
Yeah.
Pettis was a great guy.
He'll bounce back. Pettis got a boxing match coming up.
Yeah,
how many total fights did you see? I did see all 4 semis.
Wild.
Yeah.
How many total fights did you have?
4 semis. Did they talk UFC 286 at all?
No, he's asking us if we're going to talk.
Oh, if we're going to talk. I mean, we will. We can talk UFC 286 for sure, but we also have a show on Thursday this week where we'll break that down.
I'm more interested. I mean, I think right now the big story is just Merab as a whole. And
yeah, oh my God. Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, Merab versus Jan.
I mean, Merab, I was big on Jan. I really thought he was going to show out. And I mean, obviously there was a leg injury that Merab definitely caused. Then Jan said after the fight he came in injured. Who knows what that means? All that being said, that performance by Merab was just it was so phenomenal to watch. Even as someone that was about to lose so much money, I was just like, this guy really has. We've seen him grow up in front of our eyes. I mean, think about it. Marias almost had him out.
Yeah, true.
Oh, I'm glad you said that because I was thinking that leading up to this fight, like a lot of people, like that could have derailed it entirely. He was so. There was multiple times that it could have been stopped, and I don't think people would have freaked out about it.
Yeah.
Yes. And Marias throws bombs. He still is. He's in the PFL now, but like Jan hits hard, and I know he couldn't really get that power, but Merab, the reason he couldn't get that power is because he was so concerned with the takedowns, which I will say, Jan defended. His defensive grappling was like so good, but it didn't matter because he didn't do anything else. So it was clear 50-45.
Which is crazy that Jan
so clear
got
too.
50-45.
It was so
like not
clear.
It was like I don't think there was one round that was like super super close.
No,
there was like the second round. Jan,
that's what I was gonna say.
Jan
looked
okay, but Merab still won that round.
It's just when you're just defending. He did a great job defending takedowns, but when you're just defending the entire time, you're losing.
I talked to Aljo about that too because I saw some people.
He was losing the striking.
Yes, I know.
Like Merab was winning the striking 100%.
There were some points when Merab was hitting Jan, and Jan kind of like backed off.
His eye at the end of the fight, his eye was almost like
closed.
I guess that did happen because of there was a head clash. Not that, but I'm sure the punches helped blow that up even more.
Interview comes out at 8 p.m. tonight on this channel. 8 p.m. Make sure, and on the podcast feed as well. No ads on the podcast.
And that'll be promoted everywhere for the next.
Yeah, it'll be on a Barstool account. All that
Twitter.
Stuff.
Whole nine.
I talked to Aljo about the grappling and defensive grappling of Jan specifically too, because I saw some tweets from Cappers. I think it was Fury's Fight Picks was saying like, essentially the like guard defensive Jan is so good that it's almost a fault for him at this point because he'll resort into it and it just looks bad in the fight. And I was like, how do you feel about that? And Aljo was like, I think that's like kind of valid. Like you can't just lay there and, expect to win a fight if you're defending the entire time.
And I saw somebody really point out the biggest difference between what Aljo did and specifically the first fight compared to what Merab did with this against Jan was Aljo, if you go back and you can remember it, Aljo shot single legs the entire time. This time, Merab just shot double the entire time.
Interesting,
But I thought Merab was going to get a little tired, and I know he's the machine, but it's just like
it's the most perfect nickname in the UFC, maybe.
Dude,
he is a machine.
He could go another 5 rounds.
Yeah,
easy. He looked fine,
and that's what Aljo said too. He's like he could have kept going. He has a second win that he catches, and it just never goes away.
He's truly, truly something.
Shout out the corner too.
Oh,
Ray Longo, Matt Serra, just two of the greatest cornermen to ever do it. Someone tweeted me and they said, like, what happened to Jan these past few years? And I said, he ran into these two motherfuckers.
Yeah.
New York.
It's
New York.
Long Island, stand up. It's a weird Jan's in a very weird place now. I tweeted about this because like you've lost 3. I actually tweeted incorrectly around the Sandhagen fight. He's lost 3 of his last 4. Obviously, a lot of people obviously disagreed with the O'Malley fight, but regardless, loss is a loss.
Yep.
You lost.
Yep.
The Aljamain fight, you lost. Like close fights, and then this one you got dominated. It's kind of like I think the only real some people suggested this one I think would be a great fight if he fought Figueiredo.
That would be cool.
And it'd be like finally. I guess O'Malley obviously isn't, but like give him a non-wrestler.
Yep.
Like let him just like they're just gonna strike it out. I think that'd be an incredible fight.
That would be.
I would still pick Jan in that fight. Again, even though he killed me this fight, I had a ton of money on him. He lost, but also the thing with Merab too, like Dana's got to be so mad.
I know. That's Dana said it's his number one pet peeve.
And half of it, and I think half of it is not even because of that. Because it's just he's just not that exciting of a fighter. He's very boring.
Style, yeah.
He's a boring fighter.
Oh, it was interesting that Aljo said in our interview, Conor came over to them while they were training. And right before the fight, they were just trying to get a sweat in or whatever. And Conor specifically said, like, to Merab, I love your style. The way you level change and, like, pressure. He's like, I absolutely love that.
Dude, he's fantastic.
It's like, you wouldn't expect Conor to be like, I love, like, the Merab style.
But he respects, like, the martial arts. And that's where, like,
you
have to kind of, like, split the two where, like, he is phenomenal. But I totally get, like, why fans would not be, like, silent lining.
I said that after the Aldo fight. He was getting so shit on after the Aldo fight. My blog
that fight was even worse.
That
fight was boring as hell.
It was.
So boring.
But my blog was like, the fact that he did that to Aldo is mind-blowing to me. Like, how the fuck do you dominate and essentially just shut him down, shut all of his offense down?
No, it's very impressive. And it's like, because we're so used to seeing Jan, like, usually, especially in 5-round fights, like, I remember in the Sandhagen fight, he kind of, like, feels you out, and then, like, 2, 3, 4, 5, he just is in your face the whole time.
Yep.
And he kind of like met his match where, this guy's just in your face from the starting bell to the ending bell.
Yeah.
He's just in your mouth, and you don't there's nothing you do about it but just defend takedowns.
He's
level changing, striking. Like he's mixing it up constantly.
And then also I would see why Dana doesn't love Merab from that entertainment perspective, because like this guy just pointed out, next up for Aljo is obviously Cejudo.
Yep.
And then if he wins that, he would fight Sugar Sean. But let's say Sugar Sean wins against Aljo and Aljo goes up to 145, which he's mentioned. Merab would just run through O'Malley, at least in my opinion.
It's a tough stylistic matchup for sure.
So what I think they would do is I think their perfect, their like dream scenario is, I don't know if they really care if Aljo or Cejudo wins.
I don't think they do.
The winner's getting O'Malley, I think, no matter what. And their dream scenario is the fight in 2 weeks. Cheeto beats Sandhagen. Their dream scenario is Cheeto beats Sandhagen, and O'Malley is able to beat Cejudo or Aljo, and then you can make this grand Cheeto O'Malley massive pay-per-view headline.
And what are you doing with Merab during that? Like Umar?
Yeah, I think he chill. I think you're just like, sorry, bro, you don't want to.
He said he'll wait.
Yeah. Like Dana doesn't give. Like we were talking about in the group chat with Lee. Like Dana does not give a fuck.
Yeah.
No.
if you think like he will, like Merab is number 1 in the rankings. Dana didn't choose that.
No,
he doesn't know.
He's not losing
like
sleep.
He got both. Like Dana does not care. Like Dana,
do you think
Dana
this
will
will
sit there
cost him? Even if, let's just say Aljo retires, do you think this would cost Merab from ever fighting for a title?
I don't know about
not
ever, but I think it'll.
If you
like,
keep winning, eventually you'll get it.
Like I think what'll happen is like they would like say like O'Malley was able to like beat Cejudo or Aljo, was able to like beat Cheeto, then they'd probably be like, all right, Merab. Like,
Yeah.
And then they force him to fight Umar twice in the same
but
night.
Saying, but in between that time, Merab would have to go through like 2 more fights, which I'm not trying to laugh. Merab is a guy. It seems like the nicest, most hardworking guy.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things, like just like when you're in Dana's business, you want to put asses in seats. There's this constant like this middle ground between like respecting the mixed martial arts, but also wanting to be entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It's entertainment thing, so it's just like
it's like the dozen. It's what Jeff D. Lowe's dealing with.
It's just this like constant battle of like Merab, like could he like just dominate O'Malley? Like there's a good chance of that, but the world would just rather see O'Malley fight.
Do you guys think Dana's being a quote unquote bitch about the situation? I don't think so. It's his business. But...
you know what? I see both sides, because I could see like if I was like in Merab's shoes or Aljo's shoes, were like, if this dude was legitimately like one of my best friends, I could see where like I wouldn't want to fight him, but at the same time, Dana's like, you're a cage fighter for a living. Like, do you want to be the champion or do you not?
It's also been on record as Dana's biggest pet peeve before this.
And also when friends fight, that's a big fight.
Yeah.
Like if even though their styles aren't like Aljo and Merab aren't the most exciting.
I mean,
if they had to fight each other, like what do you do? Like Longo goes one side, Sarah goes with the other. Like how do you even do it? They've said they just won't, obviously.
I said to Aljo, have you guys ever had the discussion of, hey, we could do this without like straining our friendship? What if we did it as like a friendly competition? Like you guys spar in the gym. Would you guys ever consider that? And he was essentially like, no, we've never even talked about that. We're not interested unless you're paying us retirement money.
Which they're not getting that.
Which they're not getting.
They're not sellers, and they're not exciting enough.
Aljo's number that he said in the interview, I believe, was 50 mil.
No, just wait. McGregor doesn't get 50
You have
mil.
that on video.
He says like NFL money. If they're paying us NFL money, like 50 mil, like sure, but like it's not worth it otherwise.
It's just like,
dude, like
McGregor probably
that's massive. That's like
McGregor probably
Canelo Mayweather in their prime money.
Yeah.
You probably got 50 mil for like the biggest fight in the history of the.
You know what? But good for Aljo.
Look forward to that interview on Thursday. By the way, McGregor interview tonight at 8. Aljo interview on Thursday. Big week for Spinnin Backfist.
Yeah, and Aljo, that's the second time he'll be on Spinnin Backfist.
That's right.
Did he remember you?
I couldn't tell. I don't think he did though.
I doubt it.
I don't think he did. Also, I wasn't wearing a hat, so it was like, I don't know. Maybe that was
when
part
he left
of
that interview. I didn't know how much he cared for us.
Really?
I didn't know.
I just caught a vibe. I felt like he didn't love that I was honest about the betting thing.
You think?
Even though I was trying to like make a funny out of it, like, hey, you got me.
I couldn't tell at the end of my interview if he liked me or not.
Sneaky was like almost annoyed.
All right, whatever.
Which, I don't know. I didn't really understand it, but what are you gonna do?
I think he might have liked me at the end of the interview, but I don't know. I have no idea. McGregor definitely did. I felt good about that. Got the invite to Ireland. He invited me to Black Fortune.
I feel like
true. He remembered me for sure. He was like, Robbie, yeah.
You got the satisfaction. Like
yeah,
that.
Totally.
That
100% confirmation.
Yes. Made it through the interaction without, anything going down.
Were Mayweather's checks in his prime 100 mil?
So it's funny because Uncle Chael's been trying to dispute that on multiple platforms now. So I will
Uncle Chael's just so awesome.
I will say Chael's the best. I will say this though. I remember after, I believe it was when he fought McGregor. It was either McGregor or it was either McGregor or Pacquiao. So excuse me, very different fights. So I apologize, but one of them I remember he did I want to say McGregor.
I think
he did an interview with ESPN after. I forget which guy, and they had just given him the check, and he literally showed it to him as like proof, and just like showed him the check, and he was like, "That is a 9-figure check."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was McGregor.
Single check for $100 million.
I think Floyd got 100 mil for that, and McGregor got something like 50 or 75.
But that was like not even pay-per-view cut.
No,
because like you can't even count the pay-per-views when it's like an hour after the fight ended, 2 hours after the fight ended.
That's
sponsorships and everything. I bet Mayweather checks in his prime were 100 mil.
Yeah, I would think so.
The check is made to.
That's fair.
That's true. That's true. Check is Mayweather
right.
Promotions,
totally
not
fair.
Floyd Mayweather. That's true.
That's correct.
But the check doesn't include, other sponsorships
yeah, it doesn't
and stuff like that.
100 million is 100 million.
Yeah.
However you slice it. Fair, respectable point though.
Good
Mayweather
point.
Promotions.
Good point. What else is there to talk about from this past weekend? There was the great clip of I forget which fighter it was walking out smashing some guy's beer.
Oh, it's the guy that Carl Williams fought.
Yeah, that made me laugh.
Lost.
You see that he's trying.
Brigitte or something?
Yeah,
he's trying to high five everyone. He just smacked a beer out of someone's hand. The guy was like, "Oh no!"
I mean, the hype train that was Alexander Romanov is very much, and then also
he He didn't look good physically.
Physically, he looked
well. He got fat again.
Yeah,
they have no position to call anyone fat.
No, but
he got
from
like the last fight he got like he was like thin, looked good. Was that Tiberi he looked good against? Well, he ended up losing, but he had that really dominant first round. He kind of like gassed out. But this one, I mean, I feel like he gassed out in like 2 seconds. Also, this story of this whole card, they need to start penalizing fence grabs.
Oh my god!
I feel like there was a big fence grab in like 80% of the fight.
Well, that fight against the Volkov Romanov may have gone differently because he was getting him down, and Volkov had, I thought, the worst one of the night.
He probably did. That's why it reminded me when we talked about it. Because and Romanov's such like if he gets like that dominant mount, that big moose on top of you, it could be a wrap.
Yeah, it can be.
But Volkov, I mean, he's kind of
dude. He's been on. I respect it. He's been on a good streak. He knocked out Rosenstreich. He just dominates Romanov. He should get a big fight.
And he just
you want who he called out? I think it's the fight to make. He should get Gane
again.
He wants Gane again. Yeah. Gane. It's kind of like where do you go with Gane? I think that's a realistic. I think after that win, Volkov's a legit top 5-6 guy.
And Volkov, he said he wants to run it back. He was like, I want to fight like right away. Not right away, but he was saying like I want to be active. And you can't blame him. I mean, he does. And then obviously we had the Ryan Spann.
That was
Krylov.
That was disappointing to me. But Spann didn't show. Two things. Well, one, I don't know what happened where I was so convinced that Spann was like doing the right things before. Obviously, it got canceled. The original main event was on Krylov, but he seemed like he was taking it seriously. He's like, I'm doing champ. I want to be champ. I'm doing champ shit, champ activities, champ like preparation, nutritionist, training full time where he wasn't before, blah, blah. And this happens. It comes in that they do the catch weight 215. I thought he just looked sloppy kind of. I didn't really, I drank the Kool-Aid, so I was disappointed in him myself.
Yeah.
But Krylov's a great fighter. Nothing against him. But also, I thought it was weird the way he like dove into the triangle. It was almost like he felt
weird.
Did it feel like he quit kind of?
I don't
like. Really, there was part of me. I don't know what everyone accused him of quitting. I'm just saying how I felt in the moment. It just felt like he dove in and it was so easy.
It was really quick.
Like it was so fast. I was almost like he dove in it was almost like he dove in being like, hey, like
defeated, like
yes. I don't know. It just gave me a weird vibe. I don't know if anyone in the chat felt the same way watching it or the way it went down just felt like, I don't know, it just felt off to me.
Yeah.
I don't think he threw it or anything, but it just was like a weird, like almost like he got broken. I don't know. He also almost had that Darce choke.
Yeah.
I thought he was close for a minute there, but it never felt like he fully he didn't have it. Like he never really like cranked it.
Casey in the chat says, what do you do with Gary next? We discussed that a little bit on the last show where like, do you send him on a fast track? Do you not? Did we mention GM3 for him? I think,
but he's a 185.
We were talking about
Bo Nickel is the next fight, which I actually thought was
Sean Gore.
I actually think that's a good fight.
It's a solid second fight.
But I mean, like Bo should run through him. But
again,
like Tresean Gore
first
got
round
knocked
sub
out
again.
I'm just wondering how if he's like what happens when he gets hit.
I know.
That's true. That's the question. We've never seen him get punched before. And I believe he's a gamer. Like I believe he's gonna have a chin, but you never know till you know.
Never know. Yeah.
Because I think that's kind of been like Pico's like little his like his MO was like he apparently just have a chin.
It just shows the MVP. Oh, MVP. That was
that was crazy.
Dude, you literally watched his knee like shatter.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
In slow-mo.
And he just like walked away. He knew it right away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that was a great win for MVP.
And Usman.
And then Usman was just, I mean, he's just.
So a lot of people have been guessing that the Bellator champs might be the best they've like ever been. So there's been a lot of talk. They've like a lot of talk about that he could be the best 155er. About Yamasov or how he's Yumosov, that he could be the best 170er. That Eblin could be the best.
Eblin's obviously
at least better than the champ. At least like could beat Pereira with the grappling advantages and the wrestling.
What's his name? Who just beat Corey Anderson?
Oh, Nemkov.
Yeah.
He could. I would say he's for 205. He's also a threat too.
See, I would agree. It
would be a great fight.
Which one do you think truly is like the best?
Has the best shot against like anyone?
Legitimately could be like the best because even like a Nemkov, like I think Jamal Hill showed pretty good like takedown defense. Like
Mosov may be it.
I think that's who I was gonna say potentially.
Yeah,
because Usman, I don't think would be. Usman's not beating Islam.
I don't think so either.
No,
and then Eblin, I think could, but it would be a close fight.
See, the problem, like Eblin, like I think he could beat like Pereira, but then I think he'd lose like a Whitaker. Like I think a Whitaker
against Whitaker would be.
I think a Whitaker would be a tough matchup for him, but I think he could beat like a Pereira.
Dana would
just
never do
stylistically.
it, but this would be the greatest time, and at least recent
Well,
memory.
for UFC, it'd be the worst time.
Yeah. For
true.
UFC, they wouldn't.
Imagine like Yamosov just like beating like Leon or like Usman.
But you never know. Like I could still see a scenario where all the UFC guys go in and just like run.
I could too. I don't think it's out of the question because even when I think of like Nemkov, like I just feel like Jamal Hill would piece him. Like,
there's just no upside for the UFC.
No, zero.
No. I mean, it elevates a brand that's UFC's
competitor.
past.
Yeah.
I mean, Bellator, I guess did it with Risen. They swept them.
Yep.
Which is pretty impressive.
Yes, other than Jones,
he put their
Bellator,
5 best guys on a
100%.
plane and just swept them. Went over to Asia and just beat them all.
No, Jones. That's completely right. Jones would destroy. Who is their heavyweight champ? Oh, it's Bader, right?
Yeah, it's Bader, which he would
double champ,
literally murder him.
Yeah,
he's done it already.
I don't even want to.
Yeah.
That would be. Already. That could be an actually dangerous fight. Ryan Bader against John. That would be awesome, though.
Would it be in 2023?
No, I don't think it'd be
awesome.
I guess. Honestly, it probably goes similar to how the Gon
fight. Yeah, I was thinking that. Anything else from the chat? Anything else from this week that we could bring up? Might be a short show this week.
Anything you guys have watched? I've been watching a lot of the like gauging physique, like the countdown stuff and like embeddeds and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, early we're only like I haven't even watched today's embedded, so I've only seen one embedded. I watched the countdown. I have a good feeling about Leon.
Me too.
Do you?
I do.
I really.
I think people are just assuming
Kamaru's...
that Usman's gonna like just one in there and just like do it again, except for not get knocked out this time.
Yeah.
I think people are underestimating one, just like the confidence that Leon's gonna walk in that cage with being like, I know I can beat you.
Yeah.
I know I can knock you out. I know I can. I've done it. Usman's getting old. He's talking about how
he can't walk. He can't walk.
That's weird.
His knees are like his knees on like they're
walk
shot
on concrete
apparently.
Essentially.
Yes, they said it's bad.
Walk on grass
really
all the time.
Also, if you watch, because I've been watching a lot of Gaethje does a vlog.
Yeah,
I've been watching a lot of his vlog, and Kamaru's in it a lot. He's always in knee brace and training. Always, every camp or every session.
Interesting.
Always in knee brace.
I would love for Leon to win. Respect to Kamaru, but I think I'm rooting for Leon.
I also think an aspect that we're kind of underrating, actually two. One, this 36-year-old just got flatlined. It was 6 months ago, but that's like he wasn't just kind of knocked out.
Oh no,
he was.
He says he doesn't remember being in the cage.
I heard people saying after, like, because they brought him to the hospital and whatnot, just to make sure he was all right. He was still asking what happened.
Yeah,
which makes sense. I mean,
I watched interviews. He said he didn't know. He didn't fully come back till he was in the hospital.
Yes. So
he said like the whole obviously he was like. He was standing in the cage and he stood there while they like raised Leon.
Yeah, and he like
he said he doesn't remember any of it.
That's wild.
And then I also think like that was a big aspect of that card. They were in like multiple thousands of feet elevation, and I thought the Leon that we saw may have like low-key gassed after the
think
first
he did.
second.
And also think about that, like Kamaru trains in Denver.
Yes,
so he trains in the high altitude. Like Leon does not.
And also, we even saw Leon get Usman's back. I think in the
took him
fourth.
down.
No, in the first race, he took him down.
Yeah.
But
even
like
even
a real
in the fourth,
takedown.
he took his back. Like he
for
still
a second,
had for a second. But I think it's going to be an awesome fight.
I would say like this. We'll obviously get deeper in it Thursday's episode. I'll be on Leon again.
Yeah, should be fun.
What are his odds right now?
Like 200 plus 200.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
which I got 300 last time.
Nice.
Oh, I was quick before what Casey Garnbacher said. Have you seen that the Leon banner in his gym?
No.
It's so sick. It's him, like it's literally him, the leg kick. It's in their gym. It's like a perfect, like a sick photo above, like just like hung up at the top of this wall. And it's like the kick landing on Kamaru's face, and it says "protect yourself at all times."
That's awesome.
Fire.
So sick. It's such
Leon's gonna win the rematch. That KO will make Kamaru gun shy. I didn't know. It was all one word.
Yeah.
I was like, gun shy? What's gun shy?
I think he says gun shy. He's in a tough spot.
Yeah.
I think it's what he's saying, which I agree with.
Yeah, I agree with Top Goat.
Because I wonder, like, for example, all right, so let's go hypothetical. Kamaru loses. Does he retire?
I think so.
I think he does.
would too. Because you don't think he's just gonna fight like a normal contender?
I'll be completely honest. I think there's a chance he retires if he wins.
Dude, his knees are shot.
I don't think it's out of the question. And also, quick, Chris Sabals, We're talking about the guy's knees. I'm not saying he's fat. Like,
Yeah.
what are we saying here?
Yeah, and that's not like we're not.
I'm not questioning his physical.
We're not shitting on him for it.
Wait,
It's a fact. He's got shot knees.
I'm just saying this guy's been competing in wrestling for 30 years.
He talks about it. His
teammates
teammates talk about it.
Yeah. Also, we're breaking down a fight. We're not. He could have no legs and he would beat all three of us up.
Well, I don't know about me. Look at the shape of me. I'm allowed to talk about whatever fighter I want in this shape, eh?
Did Marty pass you? Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah. No duh.
He's never failed one.
Yeah. He's got the jacket.
He's got the 50 jacket, yeah.
Cejudo got it, I think, a few last week.
Colby just got it, I think, recently. I know.
Can we please get Colby a fight? Is it his
I know.
fault?
No, I think Dana said he's ready.
He said a few fell through that Colby said yes to. I wonder who's it going to be. Like, is it I think Rakhmonov would be sick. Rakhmonov would be so great.
When is Conor interview? 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Conor interview. Yes, 8 p.m. tonight. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Like this video too.
It's a sick interview. I think it's going to live up to the hype
too.
Yeah, I think people are going to be happy about it. It's very like chill. It's a conversation, and I'm excited to see if people can tell like how nervous I was during the interview. I'm sure you'll be able to tell. I was like, so I'm here with Conor McGregor. But yeah.
All right.
I said Gelton versus Rosenstruck in May. Gelton fighting for the belt by next 100%. 1,000%. I hope so.
Yeah, if we can get
what they're doing with Gelton's is super weird to me still, but at least they gave him a rank guy, so I'm happy about that.
When does he fight next?
He's fighting Rosenstruck. I believe I want to say it's a main event. I think it's a fight night main event. I could be wrong.
And we got
Gelton versus Rosenstruck.
I want to say May 14th.
We did mention it, but the May 6th card is the
Newark, baby.
Newark one.
And that's official Cejudo Aljo.
Yep.
And Charles and Dariush.
Yeah.
2 great fights.
And there's some other big fights on that too.
I think I'm frank with they're definitely gonna add one more, I think, big fight to it.
Maybe Colby.
Probably. I could see that.
That'd be nuts. That'd be awesome.
Hey Robbie, does Conor seem like he's all there? Like, is this a phoned in Conor? He definitely seemed like he was all there. Like mentally, if you're asking me that. Like,
I think he was asking, like, is he locked in?
But
he's not in training camp yet.
I think it was interesting. He's locked in and he isn't at the same time because the show, like, I think it reinvigorated him back into fighting, but he's like, all right, now I want to like be in camp.
Okay.
That's kind of the vibe I got from him. Did you get since he still has an aura? Is he self-aware? Is he self-aware? Is he I think so. Any idea in the date Conor's looking at? August or September? I don't know. I would think August is ruled out at this point because of the USADA thing. It has to be at least 6 months. Yeah,
it seemed Dana I feel like the date he always said was September, even like maybe October.
At this point, October, I feel like it's going to be October, November.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked if it's on the MSG card.
Me either.
I think that'd be so sick.
They just wait until November, yeah.
Release the interview. I will.
Damn. Fuck Bob.
Yo, hate on. Good point, bro.
Yeah, I will.
Damn, that's gonna make those MSG tickets stupid expensive.
Oh my god,
stupid.
They're gonna be like $1,000 for like nosebleeds.
You're the goats. Appreciate you all. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Nevers of Ty.
Thank you, Never Softy.
Wait, who?
Oh, Never Softy. I said Nevers of Ty.
Rockmana versus Hamzat. Give it to the people. I like that as well. I just feel like
I don't think they put out
Hamzat. I think is going up to 185. It seems like. Ooh, I did want to touch on this quick. I'm glad he said this. The Kai Carlos Albazi.
That's a sick fight.
Interesting booking.
I know.
Kai, very interesting.
I think
I respect him taking it because
I think they're trying to get rid of Kai.
I don't see why
trying to get rid of Kai.
So exciting.
Yeah,
like,
but Albazi's gonna. All right. I mean,
I know. Listen, I know it's a weird match. It's a strange matchup for Kai because Albazi's such a good grappler.
It is strange. I don't think they're trying to get rid of him though. I feel like fans love Kai. Like it's smart to keep Kai around.
Watching him fight, he's a incredibly exciting fighter.
I mean, he was kind of winning that fight against Brandon.
I think it was close. Like it was.
Yeah.
It was very. He had him cut badly, and then he just landed a crazy liver shot, and that was it.
Guys, I went on record. I'm not saying I hate Kai. I was just saying that kind of looked like a squash fight for a once title fighting contender. That his last fight he fought what? Brundage or not Brundage? Cody.
His last fight was against Moreno.
That's okay.
He fought Cody before that. And then he beat the run he's been on is incredible. He beat Askar. He beat somebody before that too.
Wonder who Cody's gonna fight next.
He lost that Royval fight, And then he's been on a tear since then, Kai.
Wonder who Cody's going to fight next.
It's a good question. I think he liked my picture with McGregor today. Shout out Cody. That was nice of him.
I wonder who they give Cody next. That's an interesting call. Where do you go with him at bantamweight?
I mean, yeah.
If there was one UFC current fighter that the three of you could all beat up collectively, who would it be?
We'd have to pick the smallest.
We would have to pick the smallest,
the
the smallest flyweight, and we would have to all hit him at the exact same time.
Jose Moutinho.
You mean Chris
Moutinho?
Yeah. He said he got cut, though. He's not a UFC fighter, though.
Yeah.
Guido Canetti.
No, he would kick our ass.
Yeah.
Old man straight.
He would kick our ass.
Well, because the problem is one of us runs in, he knocks us out, and we're like, oh, fuck.
Sam Alvey?
Hell
no, dude, he would kill.
No, Sam Alvey would be too nice. He'd be too nice to beat us up.
We would be in the hospital.
He would just play defense the whole time.
You guys could take O'Malley.
No, he couldn't.
No, he couldn't. O'Malley would he would one shot all of us. He'd be like one of those crazy like viral street knockout videos. One of my favorite answers I ever got in an interview was when I asked Rampage Jackson, how many of me would it take to kick your ass?
I loved how thoughtful he was.
He thought about that answer. He broke it down. He was like, I'll probably take 4 of you, probably snap a couple of y'all's neck, probably throw you up against the wall, kill one of you.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, probably 6 of you take me down. I was like, all right, 6 of me. That's pretty good. I was expecting him to say like a dozen.
There's a point where like you just get so well. Actually, I've heard him talk about it. I think actually a different time. I think he was on Fighter Companion, and they asked him kind of like a similar thing. I think maybe actually Will was on it recently. Will Compton.
Yes.
And I think he asked kind of a similar thing, and he was like, I've been in some street fights before where like you're getting jumped and like you got to be like, all right, I've got to hit this guy. But he was like, once you get past, I think the number he said was about what they said to you, like once you get past like 4 or 5, like you're just so overwhelmed. Like, you have no limbs left. Like you're like, one guy's on each arm, one guy's on each leg. You're just like, you're in trouble.
And that's why Jake Paul had to run away from Floyd Mayweather's crew.
Did you do the interview by a food truck? Come on.
We did it in a PF Chang's.
Yeah. PF Chang's, yeah. No, on like in between shifts.
Yeah. Connor loved the name of the show too. The My Mom's Basement thing. As soon as I was like, hello and welcome to My Mom's Basement, I saw like him look at his team and give like a smile. Like, what the fuck did you just say?
Me Mama's Basement.
Yeah, Me Mom's Basement.
Me Mama's Cellar.
At the end too, he's like, thank you for having me in your mom's basement. Get the PS5.
Any interest in Benavidez versus Plant boxing?
I actually am. Yeah, I think it's. I know it's soon. Yeah. I like Caleb Plant a lot.
I'll watch.
I was actually watching some of the Showtime. They do a good job too.
Yeah, they do.
The Showtime, like the documentary type stuff.
I have to disagree just because the Weasel runs it. I have to stand against Steven Espinoza.
I don't know who that is.
He's the Weasel.
The Weasel. He's like the Showtime promoter who McGregor was like, "You're a weasel. You cut my mic."
They just like brought him. Like McGregor attacked him once, and then they just brought him on the rest of the tour just to be bullied in front of millions of people.
Canelo fighting again. Love Canelo fights. Yep, he's getting a fight Cinco de Mayo weekend in Mexico. That's gonna be crazy. That's
that'd be the
awesome.
day before the Newark fight.
Yeah.
Ngannou and Wilder. Ngannou said they're working on 2 fights, potentially 1 or 2 in Africa.
I mean, at this point,
and he said,
book the fights.
I know. And then he said,
stop talking about it. Book the fights.
I think it's 50-year anniversary, or maybe even a little bit more.
Oh, of Rumble in the Jungle?
Yes.
That's cool.
So he was like, we could do that.
If you do Rumble in the Jungle again, you got to do it like they did it, and you got to go full, like, I mean, they had James Brown performing and shit. Like, you got to have, like, Bruno Mars come down and do something. That would be awesome. And the documentary about that, if you guys haven't seen, I think it's When We Were Giants. Is that the right documentary? All the power goes out in the hotel except for 1 floor. So they're like, all right, like everyone get off this floor. We got to clear it for Ali and Frazier, like, or Foreman, Ali and Foreman. Get him up there. There's footage of Foreman hitting a heavy bag and putting a massive dent in it. Great documentary. Great documentary. I think I'm talking about the right one. The Rumble in the Jungle doc. It's on HBO Max.
Volk versus Yair rumored. Yeah, Coleman, yep.
Going for Jones Stipe, that'd be a great card. I think that was the July card. That was saying July 8th.
Sadly.
Like International Fighters Week card.
Sadly,
my
Jones Stipe, Volk, Yair.
Are you guys sick of Hasbulla at this point? I got to be honest. I'm not. I know people are. I know people on the internet are, because every time I retweet or post anything with him, people are like, stop posting this guy. We're sick of him. He's a grown adult. This isn't funny. He's still funny to me. I got to be honest. Like, every
him
time I
being
see him.
afraid of all the puppies was the funniest.
So
thing.
afraid of the puppies. 35 puppies they got.
Cowering in fear, just running
You see
away.
him like
Indoor
flying.
skydiving.
Yeah,
That was so funny. I'm not sick of him. Give me more bullet content. I still like it.
I'll watch it all. So, and if you don't like it,
We might be the last 3, but we're
no,
still
we're not
giggling.
because he puts up
No, he
massive
does
numbers.
numbies, crazy numbies.
Good. In Vegas was hilarious. I agree. I thought it was all hilarious. How has Bullet get in
Anthony
America?
Smith.
How did he get?
It
took
a
a
plane.
Took it. Yeah. Also,
I don't think he's
Anthony
like
Smith,
banned from
Johnny-
the country.
Oh, Anthony Smith, Johnny Walker's the main event on the Rosenstruck Gelton card.
That's a good fight.
How do you guys feel about Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis? So torn. I want to go with my guy Tank.
that's gonna be a sick fight. April what? 28th.
25th, I want to say. 22nd.
Hospital brings peace for you. I don't even think he cares about Russia, to be completely honest.
Yeah, he's more Dagestan focused.
Yeah,
right?
that's like a very interesting part of the world.
He just
but
cares about his brothers.
yes,
true. He's a
You
family
could
guy, like Vin Diesel.
hear Hasbulla yelling during the Jan fight.
Yeah. His like high pitched voice in the background.
Ah!
Yeah.
Ah!
Dana getting him. Did you see all the shoes he got him too?
Yes.
I think the Nelk boys got him those shoes.
Oh, was that
actually.
Nelk? I saw a picture of
Because
Dana
he
and him
brought-
on a bed with all the
No,
shoes.
because Dana brought him. He was like, "Aren't the Nelk boys awesome?" He's got him like every pair of Jordans like ever, and like his
really
size.
cool. Yeah. All
I
right.
didn't even bring all those back to Russia.
Oh, that's
It's
a
like
good question. You got to
45
ship them.
shoeboxes,
Yeah, you
yeah.
got to just ship them. All right. That was the Spinnin Backfist MMA show for today. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for the channel. 8 p.m. tonight. Finally, the White Whale interview. Conor McGregor, 15 minutes with the double champ, the Notorious. Plenty of laughs, plenty of shots were had. Shout out to Proper 12, Irish Apple Whiskey. Go get yourself some before St. Patty's Day. And again, 8 p.m. tonight. Stay tuned. Great interview.
286 card breakdown Thursday, 10 a.m. Be there. God bless.